Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Eldritch Horror Syzygy in Cosmic Alignment, where we're just about to start turn 4. After that is, we have been to Catweazle's cock-up corner. Alright, what did I do wrong? Well, it was the battle against the goat spawn, which is back on the board, because I made an error. Yes, when Zoey battled the goat spawn, she rolled 5 dice for the actual strength test as part of the combat. And the goat spawn, it's flicked up on your screens now, it's got a -2. And I forgot to do the -2. So instead of rolling 5 dice, she should have rolled 3. In order to kill the goat spawn, she needs 2 successes, which is a bit tricky with 3 dice. A lot easier with 5, which I was rolling. So what we're going to do is we're going to redo that. So she's got 3 dice, and we're going to see if she can do it. I'll just zoom in a bit so we can see a bit better, and let's see if we can actually kill the goat spawn. And here we are. That's a bit nearer. Let's give it a go. She needs 2 successes. Oh, she's done it. 2 6s. So, yes, we did kill the goat spawn. Oh, dear me. You know what? I didn't actually want to succeed there. I wouldn't have minded not succeeding there, because it would have meant that she wasn't delayed. Because obviously, if she hadn't been able to kill the goat spawn, she wouldn't have been able to enter the gate, and consequently she couldn't get delayed in there. Yeah, then we'd have been with Tony. Now the problem with Tony is he only has 3 strength. He'd have had to pass the horror check, and then he would have only had a single die. He could have got obviously a success, which would have meant he'd have got 1 health off the goat spawn, but wouldn't have killed it. And what would have happened then was he couldn't go into his gate, and he wouldn't have gained his agreement condition, and I would have had to put the gate back on the board. The goat spawn would have still been there, and we'd have just had to go again this turn. But with Zoey getting 2 6s, she actually did kill it. The whole of last turn stands. So in a way that's good, because I don't have to redo it. In a way it's bad, because we've still got a delayed Zoey, and we've still got Tony with an agreement condition, which is, yeah, the more I think about it, the more I shouldn't have took it. But that's the way it is. I mean, if he hadn't have took the agreement condition, I believe he'd have ended up with an amnesia condition and losing some sanity or something. I can't remember exactly. But as it stands, that's the way it is, and the way we finished is the way we finished. Alright, let's get back. In fact, yeah, that's pretty much it for the introduction for this episode, so let's get straight into the action phase. And here we are with Marie. What is she going to do? Well, she is going to acquire assets. So let's get across to the asset reserve, and let's see if she can actually acquire anything. And here we are at the asset reserve. Now, she has got 4 influence. So let's give it a go. And she gets 1 success. She's pants. And we can't... Well, we can get the magnifying glass. we are going to get the magnifying glass. So that'll flash up. Once per round, you or another investigator on your space may spend 1 clue to re-roll any number of dice when resolving a test. Okay, so we'll take that. It's better than nothing. Oh, hang on. No, put it back. She's got fine clothes. So she has got 2 successes because she rolled a 6, didn't she? I think she rolled a 6. I'm sure she rolled a 6. I hope so. I hope she rolled a 6. We will take astute researcher. Now, I know a couple of you have suggested it for Skids and Zoey. Marie needs a clue as well, to be honest. She's going to pick it up, and the reason I've got her picking it up is she's got the best influence. So she'll pick this up, and it means she's got a clue. And then all she needs is a spell then, and then she's ready for solving the mystery, helping to solve the mystery. So 2 astute researcher ally. When you gain this card from the deck or reserve, gain 2 task unique assets. Then discard 1 task unique asset. Whenever you discard a task unique asset, we gain a clue. Okay, so 2 task unique assets. Here we are. Here's the deck. I'll give it a crappy shuffle because we haven't given it a crappy shuffle this turn. And a cut. And the 2 we get are sacrifices to make, and that's sacrifices to make again. So let's get rid of that, and let's at least give ourselves a choice. Sealing the old ones. All right. Again, they would have had 2 different backs. Sacrifices to make, but it's not much of a choice, is it? Rules as written, I should have took both of those. Oh, mind you, I think there might be something where, I'm not sure whether it's a talent or something, where you redraw if you get the same thing. But rather than go and check that and mess around, I'm just going to house rule that we're, for the sake of the video and you guys getting a bit of variety, I picked another one, and we got sealing the old ones. Okay, these should pop up. Sacrifices to make, unique asset, task. When you perform a focus action, you may spend 1 health to place 1 health on this card. Then you may flip the card. Okay. And sealing the old ones, unique asset. When you pass a law test while resolving a spell effect, you may discard that spell after resolving its effects to place 1 Eldritch token on this card. Then you may flip this card. We don't have a spell. And sacrifices to make. We'll keep sacrifices to make. It was the first one. Sealing the old ones. I'll put that back. We'll take sacrifices to make. Okay. Along with the astute researcher. Now, because we discarded one, it means we get a clue. Brian's favourite bag. Let's get in there. Pick a clue out. So there we are. She's got a clue. So that means all she needs now is a spell. And for the Mystic Ruins to come nearer, then we might be able to have a go at doing the mystery. The reserve. We need something else in the reserve. Depending on what comes out, we may acquire assets again. Why? How can I do that? Because Marie's special abilities mean she can do the same action twice in a turn if she wants to. So if something really amazing comes up, she will be able to have another go. So, crappy shuffle, quick cut, off the bottom. I shall flip this over and we can see what it is. It is assassination. Cost of 2. Service. When you gain this card, immediately choose a monster on any space. The chosen monster loses 2 health, then discard this card. Signs of Carcosa card. So very much like Police Raid. Police Raid, that's better for the tougher monsters, the epics. But assassination, that'd be good for getting rid of the goat spawn, for example, last turn without messing around. I don't think she's going to bother trying to pick that up or anything else on here. We'll go back and we'll see what she's going to... In fact, we'll do it here because there's no point going back to her player tray when all we're going to do for a second action is she is going to gain a focus. So she ended up with a clue, a focus, sacrifices to make as a unique task asset, and astute researcher as an ally. Okay, that's it for Marie. Next up is Skids. And here we are with Skids. The first thing he's going to try and do is he's going to try and get rid of his deck condition. Okay, so we've just got to test influence as a local action. Now, I know we're on a sea space, and if we were trying to acquire assets, we couldn't do that. Acquire assets is an influence test, but you need to be in a city to do it. But this is just an influence test. Okay, it's not an acquire assets test. What we're trying to do is we're trying to pay the debt off. So think, you know, he's just sending the money with a courier or something or whatever it is. So he's got a test influence. He's got 2 dice. Now he does have a resource, but again, resources only work with acquire assets tests. You can't use one to pay off a debt condition. Unfortunately, I think that'd be a good idea, but, well, I would do, wouldn't I? But let's see if we can get a success. A 6, yes. So we can discard this card. He's managed to pay off his debt. Woohoo! So we'll get rid of that. And he's still got an action to do. Now, we could go to Buenos Aires. I know a lot of you want us to do that. And get a spell, but we've already got a spell. And the spell we've got is Summon by a Key. And if we were to test Law, which is 2, and get a success, we can move 2 spaces immediately. And we could move to space 7. Or the Amazon. But I'm thinking space 7, because it's a Mystic Ruin space anyway. Plus, it's got a clue on it. We could gain the clue, okay, for next turn. And next turn, we don't even have to use Summon by a Key to go back to the Mystic Ruins, because next turn, space 7 is a city space, so we could actually buy a ship ticket and make our way back to space 3 and the Mystic Ruins and try and solve the mystery. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and summon a Bayaki. Okay, if it doesn't work, then next turn we'll go to Buenos Aires. But let's try, you know, and save a little time. Law test. Come on, Skids. Yeah, same again, a 6 and a 4 again. So, summon Bayaki could be coming up now. Test Law, if you pass, move to a space of your choice within 2 spaces, then we flip the card. I'll take you across and we can see him move to space 7. And here's Skid. He's gotten his Bayaki and he's flown to space 7. So it is 1, 2, so we can get there. That's excellent. Now we've got to flip this card, so I'll have a quick look. Should be coming up on your screens anytime now. Summon Bayaki. Resolve the effect based on your test result. So it wasn't a 0, it was a 1 to 2. The strain of the flight leaves you battered and bruised. Lose 1 health unless you impair strength. Well, I'm not going to impair strength, am I? So we're going to spend a health. And that will put him down to 5 health. Just because we've flipped the card, let's have a look. If we'd got 3+ successes, it'd have been no additional effect. I think somebody did mention what a crappy spell this is, and it is. So this is ripe. This is absolutely ripe to be discarded for the mystery. As I said, we don't have to use it on the way back. Hopefully we'll pick up the clue during the encounter phase, and then action phase, next turn, ship ticket, and then he can get all the way back to space 3, no problem, with a travel action. Okay, good work, Skids. Whoa! Next up, it is Zoey. And here we are with Zoey. Why are we not at a player tray? Because she's delayed. The only thing she can do, is undelay herself. So it took her a while, but she finally got back from wherever it was she went. Was it the Great Hall of Celiano? I think it was. Whichever other world she went to, it took her a while to get back. Anyway, she's got back now. And that's it for her action phase, because she can't do anything else. So next up is Tony Morgan. And here we are with Tony. So what's he going to do for his first action? Well, he's going to trade. And it is indeed counted as his trade action, so he can trade with Zoey. She's delayed. She couldn't trade using one of her actions because she didn't have any. But Tony, he could take a little bit of time out of his day to trade those 2 clues. So they have a bit of a chat in Cairo over a coffee, and she gives him some important insights. So he takes those clues, and next up, he's going to travel. So he's on his way to Rome. Let's pop across to the board and see him off. And here he is, saying ta-ta to Zoey. So leave her there in Cairo next to the pyramids, and he's just going to take the short hop over to Rome. Now, he could have immediately tested influence there to try and get rid of his agreement and spend those 2 clues. The reason I haven't, because I was sorely tempted. The reason I haven't is we know it's a rumour this turn, so there's no reckoning. And there is a good chance that if he has an encounter in Rome this turn, he can get blessed. And I'd much rather him do that influence test to get rid of the agreement when he's blessed. So that's why we're doing it this way. Okay, that's it for Tony. That's it for the action phase. Next up is the encounter phase. And here we are with Marie in Shanghai. And she's just going to have a bog standard Shanghai encounter. So, crappy shuffle. Got. And this is what we've got. Let's have a read. Shanghai. In the heart of the cult of Lan Shi, you discover a shambler from the stars. You fight to escape. Ooh, strength test. What's her strength? I think it's 2, isn't it? It's 2, but she does have a clue and she does have a focus token. Does she have anything to help? She's got, I think, the ritual dagger and everything. I think, yes, combat encounters again. And this is just a bloody strength test, so it's a bit annoying. So it's 2 dice, but she does have a focus token. Oh, let's make sure. Yep. A 5. That's a success. Excellent. If you pass, you push past the creature into a hidden library. Gain 1 tome artifact. Hey, an artifact. That's not bad. We did not fail. Right, bear with me. I'm going to have to dig the artifacts out. And here we are with the artifact deck. Very rare I get to pull one of these. I'm not big on the old expeditions or anything like that. So it's nice to get one. And what have we got? That's not a tome. This is a tome. De Vermis Mysteris. Probably not good. The Mysterious Worm. Item, tome, action, test law. If you pass, you may spend 1 sanity to improve 1 skill of your choice. That's pretty good. Her law is... Her law's 3, so that's not bad. Better than a slap across the belly with a wet kipper, as they say. And, oh, there was something else I meant to say. Pool. Okay. You know who you are. Pool. But anyway, let's carry on. Right, we'll put these back. And that's it for, yes, that's it for Marie. So next up is Skids. And here we are with Skids on Space 7. And he's going to try and get that little clue there. So we've got to use the research encounter deck. First time this playthrough. So crappy shuffle time. And a cut. And we get this fella. So let's have a look. So we're on a city. We are. You lead the police to the abode of a madman you think is behind a recent killing. Observation. Oh, if only this was Tony. What's your observation, Skids, old boy? 3, actually, that's not bad. So, and I don't think we've got a modifier. No, it's just a straight test. Come on, Skids, you can do it, mate. Yes, 2 successes. What a beast. If you pass, you discover the man hidden in a basement closet, babbling about the Daemon Sultan. Gain this clue. Woo! A clue. He's ready. If you fail, we're not interested because we didn't fail. You guys can read it if you wish. So, Skids, his plan has come together. He's rode the Bayaki to Space 7 and he has got a clue. Fantastic. He now has a clue and a spell and can get back to Space 3 next turn. And we can crack on. Okay, next up is Zoey. And here we are at the pyramids with Zoey with the expedition marker. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an expedition. And there's the card on top with the pyramids. So that's the one. Should be coming up now. The pyramids. An Australian veteran of the Great War has a room at the Mina House Hotel. You hear rumours that over the years he has stolen several objects from inside the pyramids. When you confront him on the issue, he starts a fight with you. Test strength. We're testing strength all the bloody time, aren't we? I don't think his strength's that good either. Oh no, 3. That'll do. So 3 dice. And she gets 2 successes as well. 2 5s. Excellent. Pass condition. Humbled, the soldier tells you about the murals within the pyramid. Gain 1 clue. Oh, yes! That's better than an artifact for our, our current predicament. A clue is awesome. What else? You search for them. Observation. What's her observation? Her observation is 1. So we'll use one of these. Does she have any re-rolls or anything? She's got a load of stuff. Just going to check all the stuff she's got. She may get help from somewhere. Nope, she's got a rucksack full of stuff and none of it helps. So it's just 1 die special. 6. Oh yeah! The magic is back. If you pass, you find a secret painting. Advance the... Oh, brilliant! Advance the active mystery by 1. I've been going on through this playthrough. Oh, don't do expeditions, me. They get in the way. And this is one of the few times where they don't get in the way. I hold my hands up. This one has actually paid dividends because we advance the active mystery by 1. And what that means is we put an Eldritch token on it. So there we are. We've got 1 of 4. And that is absolutely amazing, Zoey. Especially after last turn, where she stanked the place out. But she's done really well there. Kicked the ass of an Aussie. Got a clue. And she's advanced the mystery. Fantastic. What a card. I love it. Okay, where are we on next? So, Arkham. That's Arkham. So the expedition token moves to Arkham. We could get somebody there too. Or maybe a convert to be doing expeditions. Generally, I only do expeditions if, like has been the case this time, we just get somebody there for, you know, another reason, basically. And if an expedition happens to be there, you know, and we've got the opportunity, we'll do it. But on this case, it's come up trumps. Brilliant. Okay, that's it for Zoey. Next up, it will be Tony. And here we are with Tony. Okay, Tony. Roaming counter lad. Everybody else has been doing fantastic. So, we don't want you letting us down. So, there we go. Wonders of editing. It should be coming up now. Rome. You may spend one focus. He hasn't got a focus. To ascend the steps of La Scala Santa on your knees in contemplation and prayer. If you spend the focus, a sense of divine providence overwhelms you when you reach the top. Gain a blessed condition. Well, that'd have been nice. It'd have been very nice. But we do not have a focus. So that's the end of that. Oh, I would have liked to have been blessed for next turn and get rid of that agreement. And of course, it would have helped with trying to solve the rumour as well. But 'twas not to be. That's twice now, isn't it? Where we've had to have a bloody token. Clues, I understand. Fair enough. You know, spend a clue, get this. But making you have focus tokens and resource tokens. Picture of the cat looking annoyed. Not my cat, by the way. My cat's a British short hair, you know, one of them black and white ones, a tuxedo cat. But he doesn't look as angry and annoyed as the cat that have just flashed up. Anyway, unlucky Tony. The laugh and chuckle phase. That will be next. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. Couple of seconds for you, a day or so for me. Alright, the laugh and chuckle phase, as ever, is brought to you by Booze, another Green King IPA. Not a sponsor. But there have been some lovely sponsors who've been to Ko-fi.com in order to support the channel. So, great one, guys and gals. It was, I think it's Refay, Shmee Again, Alex K, and Bitjam. It's always Bitjam. Bitjam's spending all his money on this channel. Only do that if you can afford it, Bitjam. Honestly. But thank you so much for your support. But you're not here to hear that. You're here to see what's going to happen in the Mythos phase. Just before we do that, though, I've got one minor correction that I noticed in editing. When the wonderful Zoey Samaras managed to complete that expedition and advance the mystery by 1, I put an Eldritch token on the mystery. But it's not Eldritch tokens to advance the mystery for this particular mystery. That was the last one. This one gets advanced by putting a clue onto the mystery. So I'll discard this Eldritch token. And we'll pick a clue out first out of Brian's favourite bag. And this will be the clue that we put on the mystery. So there you go. Let's do it right. Especially if I set up the Mythos deck correctly right at the beginning, this should be a rumour. So we will be picking out 2 clues out of here. So it's important that the clue that's going onto the mystery is pulled out of the bag before the Mythos ones. Okay, let's keep it all straight and narrow. Right, let's see if I was right. Let's see if we have made up the Mythos deck correctly. And we have got a rumour. Yay, we did it right. So that should be flashing up by the wonders of editing. And we need 2 clues. So our first clue is space 17, so that is India. And our second clue is Buenos Aires. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, they're all quite easy to get, those. We'll take that. Okay, so moving on. Where is the rumour going to be? It's going to be in Istanbul. Again, that's not too bad. So we've got another of the rumour tokens. We'll pop that there. And it wants 3 Eldritch tokens. So I'll just get them out of the supply. Won't be a second. 3, there we are. So just like London, we'll pop them on there like that. So we've got 3 Eldritch tokens there. Right, so let's read the text. Doctors have no explanation for the virulence of the disease, but you know that on occasion a reckless wizard will invoke Hastalik to serve his dark purpose. And it's a snowflake one, even though they aren't snowflakes, they're elder signs. The contagion. Ongoing rumour. As an encounter, an investigator on Istanbul may attempt to stop the spreading illness at its source. Another observation test. You're going to be busy, Tony. If he passes, he may spend clues equal to half of the investigators to solve this rumour. Ah, that's bad. I think somebody did mention on the last rumour that we got, the Eye of the Storm, that we were lucky that we didn't have to spend clues, but it's got us back on this rumour, so we've got to spend 2 clues to get rid of this. When there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, we've got 3 to play with as it stands. Each investigator loses 3 health. Ooh, then solve this rumour. So it is survivable. You can see why it's a snowflake one, but that's still a bit grim. What happens on a reckoning? The lead investigator gains an illness condition. Oof. Then discard 1 Eldritch token from this card for each illness condition they have. I see what it wants us. Yeah, if we get an illness condition, it wants us to change lead investigator. Spread the illness conditions around. I can understand that. But yeah, all in all, not bad. But yes, I would like to get rid of it. I'll put this on a stand, won't be a moment. Right, there it is. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. We knew it was coming, and it isn't too bad, but all the same, when you actually read them, you just go, oh, let's get rid of this. I can go back in there. Well, at least that's the rumours out of the way. There's no more rumours for this particular ancient one, so that's them got rid of, thankfully. What to do? Oh, I think Tony's got to get rid of that agreement. He's got to get rid of that agreement. Unfortunately, it's an influence test -1. He's only got 2 influence. I'd like for him to get a re-roll, and the only way he can get a re-roll is by gaining a focus. But if he gains a focus and then does the local action to get rid of the agreement, he can't move from Rome. But I think he'll do that. If we have 1 reckoning, we can survive it on both those rumours. So we do have a little bit of time, I think. So I think we'll have Tony stay in Rome and gain a focus token, and he might get blessed again. You never know. So again, a focus token. We'll think of something else he can do as well. Oh yeah, he's going to do his local action. Gain the focus token, then he's going to do the local action and try and get rid of the agreement. Then he'll have to go to London, because we'll have to, especially... We might not have to go to London. It depends whether we get a reckoning or not. If we don't get a reckoning, he's got another turn to get rid of it. Yeah, I think we'll do that. He'll stay in Rome, gain a focus, then he'll try and get rid of the agreement. Rolling 2 dice. Well, rolling 1 die and having a re-roll. Hopefully we will get rid of it. What else? The Istanbul rumour. I think that's another observation, so I'd prefer Tony to be able to do that. It's going to be a bit tricky for him to move between London and Istanbul though, because he won't be able to get I suppose he could get a train ticket. No, I want the focus token. But we'll have a think about that next turn. But he's definitely got to get to London, because that rumour can end the game. Yeah, the other rumour, we lose 3 health and perhaps get a couple of illness conditions. We can deal with that. Outright losing the game, we can't. So I think Tony will stay in Rome. He'll gain a focus. He'll try and get rid of the agreement condition. He'll do a Rome encounter. Perhaps this time he'll get blessed. And if he does get blessed, it'll be great for you solving both rumours. So we'll try that. Zoey. I think Zoey will go to Rome, because rather than Istanbul, I think she's only got one. Yeah, she's only got one observation, so it's no good her going to Istanbul, really. She'll go to Rome. Marie could get a train ticket and make it to Istanbul and give it a go on the rumour. She's got 2 observation, so maybe we'll do that with her. We shall see. I wanted her to rest, because she's got a few things that she can do, task unique assets and whatnot. So I'll have a think of that. I'll have a think about that. Skids, dead easy. Skids is going to Space 3. All he needs is a ship ticket. That'll guarantee he gets to Space 3. The other thing that's pretty much guaranteed, I say pretty much, is the mystery, in that you put a clue on the mystery by resolving it. By resolving the encounter. Sorry, not the mystery. By resolving the Mystic Ruins encounter. And what resolving means is just doing the encounter. Succeed or fail, you've resolved the encounter. Yes, it's either resolved successfully or it's resolved in failure. That's good. So we just have to do, essentially, if nothing goes wrong, and you know, it's not some horrible Mystic Ruins card that prevents us from doing it, we should be able to get a second clue onto that mystery. And that puts us in a really, really good position. The only things to worry about are Tony's agreement and that London rumour. Even the Istanbul rumour, it'd be bad, but I think it's survivable. So, it'd be a fun next turn. Thank you so much for watching. If any of you have noticed any errors, please let me know, and I will do my best to correct them for next turn. Thanks to anybody who's been to BGG to vote up the video threads, or drop Geek Gold. You again, BitJam. You again. Other than strategies, obviously. I've outlined the way I'm sort of thinking there. But if you guys come up with something better, by all means put it in the comments, and I could well rob it for next turn, because we're in a good position, but we're still in a slight quandary, especially with Tony. But other than that, a pretty good turn. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the likes and the dislikes, because you're still watching. And I hope to see you next time. Oh, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, all that algorithm stuff. What sort of content creator am I? Keep forgetting to say that. And yes, hope to see you next time for turn 5. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, saying toodaloo.